So I thought the play was really interesting. I thought it was interesting how it was like set up as an interview and they told like Matthew's story that way where like Intermittent Apparel was kind of set up like in a more conversational and dialogue tone between the actual characters. I found two values, and they were hatred and media. And an example of media is Tiffany Edwards was talking about how all the media was pushing like the judge for information, and they like went into like the bathroom that he was in and was asking like questions and how the trial was going to go and things like that. And an example of hatred is obviously Aaron and Russell and how they kidnapped, murdered, and robbed Matthew. I thought the play was also very easy to understand and interpret. There weren't like any words or phrases that I found that were confusing. I thought it was like pretty straightforward. Um, as for question four, um, I thought that there was a difference between acceptance and tolerance. People in Laramie, I feel like, are more tolerant of like people who are homosexual, such as Matthew. They like feel like that the person can express themselves in any way, and like that person can like who they want and marry who they want, and they should be able to be whatever type of person they want to be. But a lot of them are also very like religious, I think. So their views on that are like they wouldn't do, or they wouldn't like someone of the same sex because of their religion. They feel like that's very bad. It's like a sin. So they won't accept that person, or they don't accept that type of behavior, I guess. So they're just like tolerate the people that they're around rather than accepting them. I do think like a hate crime like this could happen in Columbus, but because you never know like what's gonna happen, like hate crimes and violence and the way it's portrayed can happen anywhere. So I feel like you just have to be safe. Um, and I think like in the play itself, like they were trying to tell us that you should be accepting and respect other people's decisions and what they feel like they want to do. They People should be able to like express themselves how they want to, no matter about like other people's opinions. I think like this conversation about homosexuality and like violence and stuff is very prominent right now too. So I feel like they're trying to make us seem like they're trying to make us look at that situation that happened and like try to fix it now, because the same stuff is going to keep occurring anyway. So I feel like they're just trying to make it like better. So this play is different from Intimate Apparel because it's the timing is non-linear, so it goes back and forth between the present and the past. So it's like showing us flashbacks, but also like talking about like how this affected them now and how it affected them back then. It also has many locations and shorter scenes. So like there's different scenes from when they're in the courthouse or when they're in like the hospital or in like their own separate locations when they're doing interviews and the crime scene, where Intimate Apparel is kind of set in like one place, which is like the boarding house or like when she goes and gets fabric. Like there's a lot less locations. And this one also, and the Laramie Project also had many more characters that were being interviewed, where Intimate Apparel only had like four or like five, and they all just kind of interacted with each other. Um, and then my two questions were, um, why do you think that some of the citizens of Laramie don't consider this a hate crime? And my second one was, do you believe that Aaron was actually sympathetic and apologetic towards Matthew's family, or do you think he doesn't actually think that he did something wrong? Thank you.